How's it going, boys? Welcome back. Today, boys, I bring you the comprehensive Year 9 Season 1 tier list for Rainbow Six Siege. I think it's been enough time. I think we've got like a month and a half of gameplay. We've had time to evaluate all the operators for the most part. So I thought it would be a perfect time to bring out one of these tier lists. With that being said, boys, if you enjoyed this content, make sure to hit that like button and make sure to subscribe. I notice about 96% of the people who watch my videos aren't subscribed, and if you guys like daily Siege content, whether it be gameplay, tier lists like this, tips and tricks, whatever it may be, I post all of that. I do all that kind of stuff. So if you guys like that, make sure to subscribe, join the PixelPeek army, and enjoy the videos. And one more thing, boys, if you guys disagree with anything I say, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, make sure to leave a comment down below. I respond to every single comment, so I will see your comment and I can respond to you. And with that, let's just get right into the tier list. So obviously we have S tier, amazing, really good in all situations. We have A tier, which is like the next best value, you could say, if you can't take that operator, that's an S. B tier, less utility, still very usable. Maybe they just have a good gun, something along those lines. C tier, there's better options, but they still bring good value in certain situations. D is niche, usually doesn't make a big enough impact to win you rounds. And then F is hazardous, low skill, complete dog water, trash. Don't use anybody in the F tier. With that being said, let's just get right into it. So we have Ace coming in first, and I guess we just get the hard breachers out of the way altogether. So Ace is unequivocally the best hard breacher, right? Not because he does it the best, but because he's the most flexible. His utility is the best, and you can even bring him on rounds where you're not necessarily hitting a specific wall, right? So we got Ace as one of the hard breachers. Let's get Therm. I'm going to say Therm is going to go B, okay? And then I'm going to say Hibana. Where's Hibana? Hibana. There she is. Hibana will go C. And let's explain. So between these three, there are two of them that can breach from a safe distance, and that would be Hibana and that would be Ace, right? And then there's Thermite, who, in my opinion, is the best actual breacher, right? If you're able to get his charge on the wall and blow it up, he is the actual best breacher. He makes the biggest hole. It allows for plant setups. He is the best actual breacher, right? But why Ace makes it in above him is, first of all, yes, Ace can breach walls, but like you can use Ace in so many different ways. It's not necessarily like, oh, we're gonna hit this wall, bring Ace. Ace can be used in many different ways, and you can even just bring him to put pressure on people in the bomb site, right? To attack. So I think Ace comes in at number one. He also has a really good gun, right? Thermite is, again, the best hole maker in the entire game. Pause. So he makes it in at B. You could even put him in A, honestly. I guess he is the next best value. I'll put Therm in A, sure. If you can get Therm with his charge on the wall and blow it up, you won't have a better breach than that, right? But where the issue with him is that he has to come out of cover, run to the wall, and put it on, and then blow it up, right? And get stuck in an animation. Like, you can die so many ways when you do have to do something like that. Whereas Ace can do it from a safe distance, behind cover, whatever it may be, right? And then Hibana, the reason Hibana comes in at C is because I find her more situational than these two, right? Hibana is the best hatch breacher in the game, for sure, definitely. That's what she does best. So on maps like Cafe, maps like Chalet even, Hibana is definitely your best bet for hatches specifically. But if you're talking about a garage on Chalet, or if you're talking about a consulate garage as well, like, you're going to bring Therm or Ace almost every time over Hibana, right? So that's how these breachers will come in, right? Next, Alibi. I don't know whether to put Alibi in F or D, because I think she's terrible. I'll put her in D, right? There are certain plays that you can make with Alibi that are like cool. Her gun isn't particularly good. Her ability isn't particularly good. Like, she comes with beepers, I guess. Great, right? But I just think Alibi, in terms of all the other operators that are in the game, is very low tier. Amaru, I'm going to put Amaru in C, but I'll have to explain. So Amaru is actually not that bad. Her Supernova shotgun is incredible. It's actually a really good shotgun. And her LMG is also like really good gun. So in terms of a kit, like she has a good gun. The problem with Amaru is that first of all, she's situational, right? You can't just use her on every map, and you definitely can't use her on every bomb site, right? If they go basement, like you just can't bring Amaru, right? So there's that. But also if you're not droning, if you're setting up a drone and you're pre-planning the window you're going to go through and you're going through all that work, then I would say Amaru can go in C. But if you're just spawning, running to a window and jumping through, I would put Amaru in D, right? So it depends how you play with Amaru, right? If you're playing brain dead, D. If you're playing smart and actually using her utility to its fullest extent, then I would say C. Aruni. I actually really like Aruni. I think Aruni's really good, but I don't think she's going to make B. I think she's also C. She brings good value, but again, kind of situational. I mean, yeah, you can pretty much use her on any bomb site, but there's certain bomb sites that are just like better to bring somebody maybe with a shotgun or with an SMG of some sort than to bring someone with a marksman rifle. Yeah, her ability is pretty good. And there are some maps where you can use her ability on hatches to keep hatches from being open. So like she has some good situational value, but in terms of every time usable, I wouldn't say she's the best. She also does have her fist though to help make head holes and rotations, which I think is really nice. And she does have the P10 Roni. Kind of forgot about that. I usually just use the EBR. Ooh. We'll think about that. I think we'll think about that. She could make B actually. Aruni's honestly a really, really solid operator. But for now, we'll leave her in C. Ash, you guys know how I feel about Ash. If you guys have watched any of my videos, you guys know I really don't like Ash. I think she's a selfish operator. She doesn't bring anything to the table for the team. Yeah, she can take out utility, dude, but like there's so many better operators that can do that. Oops. I'll put her in B. And that's honestly a blessing for you Ash mains, because honestly, I hate her. I hate Ash. I really do. I just think she just doesn't bring enough to the table. And you know what? Nah, sorry. I got to stick with my guns, boys. She's going C. There's just better options all the time for entry fraggers than Ash, and they have better abilities. So I think Ash can go into C. Azami, Azami's S tier for me, boys. I really don't care about the nerf where you can break her shield, her Kiba barriers and whatever. Dude, Azami is S tier, man. Two good guns, the shotgun or the Y9S1, I believe it's called. Amazing impacts, a great ability. If you know what you're doing with the zombie barriers, like, dude, you will cook. There's so much creativity that you can bring to the table with the zombie, and for me, I think she's genuinely one of the best defenders. So for sure, for me, that's going to be an S tier for Azami. Not much to say else than that. Bandit. Should we get all the electrifiers out of the way now? Bandit, Mute, and Cade, I would say. I say Bandit C, Cade B, Mute probably A. Yeah, I think this is how I do it. Now Mute, technically he isn't a he is wall denial, but that's not really what you're picking him for. But I think Mute is just a core operator, amazing. You could bring Mute on every single site. Yeah, actually Mute is honestly an S. You really can bring him on every single site. He's got a great kit, and there's never a time where bringing a Mute is a bad thing. So I think Mute definitely can go up there. Cade is good, B tier. I wouldn't put him A. I think if you're a smart Cade and you know all the good spots to throw your Cades, right? You're not just throwing them on top of barricades. Cade can be a real nuisance, right? But for the most part, first of all, is kind of situational, right? You need a wall to actually use the Cade on. Otherwise, you're not going to be bringing Cade probably. But for the most part, most site setups require some sort of electrification or would benefit from it. So I think Cade in B is fine. And Bandit in C, just because if you can bandit trick, if you're really a good bandit tricker, then I could definitely see him in B or A, because I mean, you could just keep that wall closed the entire round if you're really good at it. But you know, I think the whole having to actually stay by your bandit batteries and not being able to help your team out does kind of have some hindrances. I think the MP7 is an okay gun. I don't think it's anything great. He has the shotgun also. That gun is completely memeish. Never use that gun. Yeah, I think he's good in C, to be honest, but you could change it. Blackbeard, easily first one here. I mean, guys, do I have to say anything? Like, Blackbeard is completely dog water. He has no redeeming factors. His guns are bad. Like, his guns are not good. His ability does nothing. And there's just no reason whatsoever, unless you just want to throw, that you're using Blackbeard. Blackbeard, terrible. Like, dude, I know he's getting the rework, so maybe in the next tier list he'll actually make it into a higher tier, but for now, Blackbeard is actually unusable. Like, you're better off going recruit, or I don't know, you're better off doing anything other than Blackbeard. Next is Blitz. Blitz, probably C. Blitz is situational. I mean, you could bring him on every map, but like, first of all, they nerfed him, so now that even when he's crouched, you can still shoot under his shield and kill him. I think that really killed Blitz, in my opinion. But Blitz is good in certain scenarios, like maybe in Oregon, blue tarp, you push the elbow, right? There's somebody just sitting in there and they have it reinforced. You break the green barricade, you just rush him with Blitz and absolutely schmirk him. So like, he's good in certain scenarios, but I think the other shield operator, Monty, is actually much better than him now. Because if you're a really good Monty player, dude, first of all, you'll never die. Like, you actually will not die. Unless they get a C4 off on you, you aren't going to die. If you're really, really good at using Monty, right? And Monty can melee with his shield now. So that's, I mean, that's completely broken. So yeah, I would probably put Blitz in C. Pretty easy to counter. Brava. Yeah, Brava's... she's either D or B. Honestly, I'd probably put Brava in D. Like, no hate against her. Her kit isn't great. Her gun isn't great. I feel like she's extremely situational, right? Like, not only do they have to have util, but like, you have to go scope it out and then actually hack it. I know there's the Brava glitch where you get like unlimited hacks. I don't know if that's still in the game. I don't know. Like, yeah, you can hack stuff, but like, it's probably just better off like destroying them. So I don't know. Yeah, I find her really niche. It's good when you're playing against like a Fenrir or maybe a Capcan or something like that, but I feel like it just requires too much time, and a lot of people end up spending the entire time outside of the building trying to hack stuff with Brava, and by then their entire team is dead and it like doesn't matter. So I think Brava could be C if you're playing with a 5-stack, because then you can have really good coordination and stuff, but for now I would say Brava's probably D, and you could probably live with that. Buck's an A tier. I mean, Buck could easily be S tier, actually. Yeah, okay, no, Buck's S tier because there are so many good ways to play with Buck. First of all, great gun. I don't really use the semi-auto very much, but his main gun is very, very good. You can play vert, you can play under, you can break through walls and surprise people. I think Buck's ability is one of the best in the game, for sure. And he comes with flashbangs too. Like, dude, you're kind of cooking with Buck, but you do need to have a game plan. If you're just planning on using Buck and just running through and just breaking random stuff, you're probably not going to have a great time with Buck. But yeah, I would put Buck in S. I think Buck is fine in S. Maybe move him down to A. We'll see. Capitao, niche. Honestly, completely niche. The thing about Capitao is, yeah, he has smokes, but like, dude, you could literally just bring a character with smokes who does a lot better. And yes, he has the fire, but like, I mean, it's only 2 of them, and like, it really doesn't do that much. His kit isn't that great. Again, he's niche, meaning that he is usable on certain situations, right? But I don't think he would make it into C among these type of operators. These operators are way better than Capitao. So I'm going to put Capitao in D. Castle, probably B. That might be high. Actually, probably C. No, yeah, Castle can't be higher than a Rooney. Let's be completely real. We might actually just do this then. That makes more sense. Because, yeah, Castle's good, but he is also situational, right? In the sense that not every map you can just bring Castle. And, like, I think people overrate the actual Castle barricade. Like, people act like Castle barricades are, like, these impenetrable, like, crazy things. Like, dude, there are so many characters on offense that can just one-tap the Castles. There are so many Gones. There's so many hard breach charges. I mean, there's a lot of ways to get through a castle. So there's that aspect of it. And then there's the other aspect that the majority of people don't know how to use castle. They end up castling their teammates out. They end up destroying rotates and shrinking the site, giving the enemy team lots of space. And I mean, that's just a recipe for disaster. So personally, I think he goes in C. He has a great gun, but I think there's definitely better characters than Castle on defense that bring a lot more utility, in my personal opinion. So yeah, Castle in C. Caveira, F. I don't care. I don't care. You guys know. If you guys have watched my videos, you guys know how I feel about this character. This character is the biggest waste of time on defense there will be, okay? And I already know. Pixel, but when I interrogate them, then everybody on my team can see where everybody else is. Dude, you guys need to realize that the interrogation isn't actually that big of a deal. First of all, if you're on the attacking team and you see one of your teammates getting interrogated, the first thing that guy's gonna do is call out where the cav is, right? If there's anybody near him, they're probably gonna smoke the cav before she could get the interrogation off. But let's say she does. As an attacker on the attacking team, when I get interrogated, what does everyone do? They just back up. They just wait for it to run out and then they resume activities, right? It's like, it doesn't actually do as much as people think. On top of that, her guns are so bad, dude. Her SMG is terrible. It shoots frozen peas and her shotgun is completely useless. The best gun she has is her pistol. And I just don't think she brings any util to the team whatsoever. She's just some person that's way off site, that's hoping that somebody runs by her so she can get a free kill. If not, she's useless, and then she just ends up dying and it's a 4v5. I think Cav is actually horrible, like seriously the worst character on defense. Clash. Honestly, F tier, like, dude, Clash is a waste of time. Like, if somebody on my team picked Clash, I'm gonna be pissed. I like, just bring anybody else, anybody who has any piece of utility, bro. Like, yes, there are certain scenarios where Clash can be useful, but like, again, I just really don't see the point of bringing a Clash on defense. Even if you're like, if it's match point and you guys need one round to win the whole game, like, I just don't see the value in bringing a Clash. It's honestly too dangerous and she just doesn't do enough, right? And all it takes is for her to switch to her secondary, then she just becomes a normal operator who has no util, right? So it's just, if she had like one extra thing that she could do that could help the team, then maybe. But for now, like, dude, she's just a shield character on defense that's extremely counterable, very easy to deal with, and brings nothing for the defense. Yeah, she can take a little space, but it's not very hard to outplay a Clash. So I put her in F. Doc is C tier. I mean, he's good, but it requires him to stay alive the entire round for him to actually get his abilities to work. Also, Siege is a one-shot headshot meta, so Doc cannot save somebody who gets headshot, so that automatically makes his ability just less useful. He's got a decent kit, a good option and variety of guns. Yeah, he can stim himself if he goes down, but again, one-shot headshot meta, or not meta, that's just how the game is. So I think Doc's a C. I've played with so many Docs, and like the amount of stim shots that I've gone is probably like 2 in my entire career. So I think Doc is just whatever. Like, it's not bad. You could totally bring him. Like, he's good value, but there's probably just better options as we see there. Doki, S. She's just S. Any character in the game that forces people to stop moving, obstructs their vision, and makes a sound cue is completely broken. I mean, Ubi kind of went crazy with Dokkaebi. Like, Dokkaebi is completely broken. It's not even funny, and it's one of the most annoying characters. Oh, and I forgot, she can get access to all the cams too, super easily. I mean, crazy how much value Dokkaebi brings to the table if you're using her correctly. Dokkaebi's insane. Yeah, she has the EBR as her primary or whatever, the DMR that she uses, but like, dude, who cares? Dokkaebi is absolutely cracked. So for sure she makes it into S tier, because like I said, she's obstructing your vision, she's making you stop moving, and she's giving off a sound cue. That's way too much value. So definitely S tier for Doki. Echo. Honestly, Echo probably D. Maybe C. Nah, Echo D, dude. Echo fell off hard, I'm not gonna lie, boys. Echo's useful in about 3 bomb sites. I'd say Consulate, Garage, I'd say CCTV, Cash Room on Oregon, or sorry, on Clubhouse, and Basement Chalet, maybe? I'm sure there's a few other ones, but like, dude, I think Echo's pretty mid-tier. And if he dies, boom, now you just have like a worse Valkyrie on your team, right? Like, just go Valkyrie, right? And she's gonna give you like, what, 4 or 5 cams? I don't remember, I think 4 cams. And if she dies, but guess what? You still have access to the cams. Like, when Echo dies, he's just a glorified Valkyrie with less cams. So, and cams that are easier to spot, by the way. The Echo drones are very easy to see if you're not hiding them well. So, yeah, I would say Echo D. I mean, I guess potential to put him into C, but I don't see the value in Echo. Again, maybe if you're playing in a 5-stack and you have really good coordination, you could genuinely use Echo and they will never be able to plant the entire round. So there is value there, but I think too niche, not impactful enough, honestly. Ela. Ela's pretty bad. Like, in terms of trap ops, there's so many better trap ops. And her gun is so bad. Her Scorpion is awful, dude. She is a trap op, so you would probably like consider just putting her in C, but yeah, I guess put her in C. She's a trap op. Like, she's still she brings value to the team, which is good enough, I guess you could say, but I just don't think she does a lot. Yeah, the stun mines are like cool and all, but with the guy coming up next, there's way better than stun mines on defense, but okay, that's fine. Oh, let's see. Pretty good. Fenrir, I mean, this is probably the easiest S tier on this entire tier list. There's a reason this guy gets banned in like 80% of your ranked matches. This guy is completely busted, dude. 5 Fenrir mines that blind attackers. Not only it's not that it blinds, it completely makes it impossible for them to actually see their surroundings. You could be standing right outside of the Fenrir and they can't see you, but you can see them, right? So there's that. 5 of them that do that. Secondly, they have to stop, look around, find the Fenrir, and shoot it. That's broken, right? That completely ruins the flow of the attack. And on top of that, even more, Fenrir sees exactly where his mines go off. He literally has his HUD to the left of the screen, and if they're on the stairs, it's gonna say whatever, 1F stairs. The guy's there, like, and then he can relay that information to his team. They can frag off of it, or he can go and frag off his own util. Completely broken, insane. On top of that, they can't break Fenrir mines unless they're active. That's crazy to me too. Like, I think they're changing that, but yeah, I mean, dude, that's so broken. So I think Fenrir, easy S tier, really good. There's a reason he gets banned, like I said. So yeah, good kit as well. The MP7 is okay, and I guess he has a shotgun that nobody ever uses, but yeah, I think Fenrir is pretty insane. Bailiff secondary too for a little bit of site setups or hiding your Fenrir mines, which is really good. And yeah, I mean, the fact that he blinds you, he can see where you are when you trip them and then go kill you is pretty crazy. Finka mommy. I guess Finka C. Nah, honestly, I like Finka a lot, but I think Finka D. I think both of her guns are pretty bad. Like, the LMG is good, but dude, you move like a bus with it. Oh, use the angled grip, or whatever the heck that grip is called, dude. It's whatever. I think Finka could be a lot better. I think the spear is a terrible gun also. Not a fan of it. Her ability is good, right? I guess if Doc's in C tier, though, we have to put Finka in C. It's like she's just the offensive version of Doc, and she has global heal. That's pretty good, actually, yeah. Yeah, okay. I put Finka in C, actually. Her guns are still terrible, but her abilities actually brings a lot of value to the table. So the one thing about it is, again, it's a one-shot headshot meta. Finka can't, or not meta, it's a one-shot headshot game. I don't know why I keep saying meta. So Finka's not going to be able to save people who get headshotted, but she can give you that all-important health boost at the end of the rounds that can help you win your gunfights and win the round. So yeah, I think it's pretty good value. Yeah, I'll put her in C. Flores, oh boys, I'm a big enjoyer of whoa, what's going on here? I'm a big enjoyer of Flores. I think Flores is really good, but I think he's gonna go in C tier. He's definitely situational. There are certain times where bringing Flores makes no sense. You're not gonna kill people with his drones. The point of Flores is to destroy util. And actually, compared to Ash, in my opinion, Flores is 10 times better than Ash in destroying util, dude. He can blow up like 3-4 pieces of util if they're all right next to each other. He's unequivocally the best util clearer in the game, in my opinion. He has a great kit. All of his guns are good. He has claymores, which is nice because usually you're sitting outside sending Flores drones in. You don't want people to jump out on you, so you could set up your perimeter. Yeah, I think Flores is really good, and I don't think he gets the love that he deserves. People never bring Flores, even though they're playing against 5 operators who have like utility that they put down. Like, dude, bring Flores. You're gonna absolutely destroy everything they love. I think Flores is a great character. C is good for him though. There's still better options, I would say. Frost. I would say Frost. Would it be crazy to put Frost in B? I'm a big fan of Frost, honestly. No, but Frost is situational. There's certain maps where like Frost is pretty bad. Yeah, Frost C is as well. Frost, is amazing, I think, honestly. Her traps are like whatever. If you get somebody in them, good, right? And you can get really creative with her traps and catch people out and stuff, but she also has a really good gun. She has a shotgun as a secondary for sight setup. She has a deployable shield. I think she brings a lot of util to the table. Are there better options sometimes? Absolutely. So I think that's why she makes it in C. Yeah, that's good to me. Fuse, Fuse. Honestly, boys, I'm putting Fuse in B. I guess it doesn't make sense with the whole less util thing, which actually this doesn't make any sense at all. I would just say worse. I would say worse than A, but still very usable is probably what this should say. Worse than A, but still very usable. Yeah. Fuse is really good, actually, guys. I think Fuse is he always gets banned, but that's just because people just he's like the cap can of attack. The people just auto ban him because they don't really think about it. They just kind of autopilot ban Fuse. But Fuse is really good on any basement site, on any 1F site. He's insane. But you can also use him on any site in the game and like get kills with him and stuff. And with coordination, like, dude, Fuse is a nightmare to go against. On top of that, he has the AK-12, which is one of the best guns in the game. I think Fuse is actually really good. I never use him, but I think he's actually really, really good if you use him properly. Glaz is a pretty easy D. No hate on Glaz, but he's very niche, right? And most of the time, he's not going to make any impact whatsoever on the game. I can think of like I can honestly think of one good time to use Glaz, and it would be on actually 2 good times. Cafe Skylight, maybe, is decent. Throw a couple smokes, look around, see what happens, but that's pretty niche. And I would say probably Chalet Garage, get that wall open, throw a couple smokes in there, cover the planter. You can see through the smoke. It's pretty good. But like, other than that, you could probably make Glaz work on a few other sites, but you're almost forcing it, and there's definitely a better option. So Glaz D, no hate, he's just very niche. Goyo goes in B for me, boys. Goyo is really good. Good gun. The fire that comes out of the Goyo canisters lasts for such a long time, dude. Goyo is an amazing time-wasting op on D, right? You're not using the Goyo fire to kill people, but what you are using it for is to waste their time or to cut off entry points to force them to get funneled through an area where you guys are better set up. So I think Goyo is actually just really, really good. Yeah, I would put Goyo in B pretty easily. Thicklock. Thickums. Does Thickums make C? Nah, I think Thickums is D. She's not even that bad. Like, it's just, if you're not really going, like, she's flank watch, I guess, but like, dude, her things get one shot by any bullet. It's very easy to just kind of destroy them. And again, she's kind of too situational. On just a traditional like round where you're just playing and you have no like rush plants like theory or rush plant idea that you guys want to put into effect, or if you're just playing slow, like Gridlock really isn't the one to bring. Her guns are okay. I guess again, like I said, flank watch, but like, I don't know. I just don't think Gridlock's that useful. There are certain scenarios with good team play where Gridlock can be really good, but for the most part, I'd say she's pretty niche. Grim. Yeah, I'd say Grim is the same thing. I'm a big fan of Grim. I mean, literally go check the last video that I just posted. I was using Grim the whole time. Grim is really, really good actually, but niche. Yeah, you can bring Grim on like a lot of maps, but there are dangers with Grim. The danger number one is the fact that when you have your launcher out, you're extremely vulnerable, right? And you still have to look into sight and shoot it, right? And you could get your head taken off a lot of the times there. Where Grim excels is when you're using his ability from a safe area, right? So either you're on the top, you bust a hatch, you shoot down with your Grims. That's a much more safe way to use him. Or if you're in like a skylight, maybe Cafe 3F, you're shooting your Grims down and then you're looking to get picks. I would say Grim is pretty decent for stuff like that, but yeah, very niche, quite dangerous to use in certain scenarios. And, you know, once you get really into the building and start going for gunfights, it's going to be, his util is going to drop off, I would say. So yeah, I'd put Grim in D. Oh, Mahami, boys. Okay, honestly, you guys tell me. You guys can comment down below, but I think Iana's S tier. I just think Iana is so good. Solo queue, team play, it doesn't matter. There are so many good things you can do with Iana. Like, if you use her properly, right? If you're playing solo queue, Iana is going to get you so much info. It's unbelievable, right? And it's way better than using a drone. You can clear rooms quicker. You can see over things, so you can see if people are hiding behind obstacles or whatever it may be, right? So it gives you a better viewpoint of each room, and you can clear quick. On top of that, amazing loadout, flashbangs, which is good. They did take away her nades. When she had her nades, dude, because the one thing that stops Iana users sometimes is castle, but she still has a Gone 6, so usually just bring the Gone 6 instead of a pistol and you're cooking. And when you're playing with a team, dude, you know, you can send your Iana clone in front of your teammate. The enemy team will shoot at Iana and your teammate can refrag the Iana clone. So like, it's really, really good. I think Iana's amazing, boys. And you guys know, if you guys have seen any of my videos, you guys know how much I like Iana. And if you have the elite skin, that's like +2 kills a game, boys. So yeah, Iana for me, S tier. That's more of a personal pick, but let me know down below what you guys think. IQ D. I think IQ is extremely niche. Like, yes, she's usable on every single attack, but like, it's whatever, dude. Like, they're just better things. You just use your drones. I don't know. I think IQ is pretty bad. Not much to say there. Jackal, I put Jackal in A. Honestly, I'd put him in A. He has a really broken ability. The fact that you just get to track people for free is pretty broken. Now, obviously, he gets banned literally every game, but if he doesn't get banned, use him. He's pretty good, and he's kind of hard to counter because you're going to have to move around at some point or another, and he's going to, you know, get your footsteps and track you. So I think Jackal's really good, and it also reveals to everybody on the team, which I think is really busted. So there's not many operators that do that. So Jackal, A tier, pretty easy. Jaeger. I think we put Jaeger in C because Wamai is just a better version of Jaeger, in my opinion. Wamai honestly is A tier though, in my opinion. Wamai is really good, but let's talk about Jaeger first. Jaeger, his ADSs are nice, but they only burn one thing, and then that's it. So, you know, it's a maximum of 3 utility destroyers. Whereas Wami has more magnets, and you can place them in better areas, like above doorways and places like that, where they're less likely to get shot and less likely to be seen. So people will waste their util, and then the magnet will take it, right? Whereas Jaeger, it's like this big clunky thing, and it's very easy to spot with drones, and less places to put the actual Jaeger ADSs down. So I would say he's just a worse version of Wami. And Wami definitely A tier, great gun, impacts, Keratos secondary, like very good, very good. I like Wami a lot. Should I even talk about this, boys? Should I even talk about this? Is the worst character in the game. This is worse than Blackbeard. This is the worst character in the game. Okay? I don't want to hear it. She's not even situational. Don't even tell me, oh, but border, you go stand on the bus and then you quick scope all the way inside and you kill people. Dude, Siege is a tactics-based game. There is no need for a 12x scoped guy standing in spawn trying to get the quick scope of the century. You're better off just going in there with Blackbeard and actually trying to kill somebody. Like, Callie is horrible. Callie is so bad, dude. You don't know how many times I've played Chalet. Everybody's dead. There's just a Callie sitting in that stupid lookout watchtower, just trying to quickscope people, just doing nothing. It's like, imagine if she was using a real character and she was in there pushing with them, they might have won the round, right? But she's just sitting out there missing all her shots, doing nothing, still in spawn. And then by the time she realizes, oh, I probably need to push into the building, there's like 30 seconds left and the round's over. She doesn't have the diffuser. Like, Callie is so bad. Like, I just don't understand why people ever use her. Capcan C. He's just like whatever. To be honest, against me, I die to Capcan so much because I'm so used to him being banned that when he's not banned, I just forget he exists and then I die to him. But Capcan's pretty avoidable. His thing makes a noise, so as long as you're, keeping a lookout for it, you'll probably be fine. He has a good gun, I guess. Yeah, I don't think there's anything too special. I think Capcan is just a bog standard C tier operator, honestly. Lesion, dude. Legion's S tier for me, guys. Best trap op, like genuinely best trap op, maybe other than Fenrir. The T5 is genuinely the best gun on defense. Zero recoil, headshot machine, crazy good. And the fact that he gets like 50 Legion mines to spam all over the point is absolutely ridiculous. Super shorty for site setups, impact grenades for more site setups, or for whatever you need to use for, right? Like, dude, Legion is crazy overpowered in my opinion. Like, I think he's just so good. The Legion mines themselves make a big sound cue, and when people step on them, like, you know exactly where they are. But also, dude, if they don't pull those Legion mines out, it does so much damage to them. It's unbelievable. You wait 2 seconds and you lose like 30 health. Like, the Legion mines are no joke. So yeah, in my opinion, Legion, easy S tier. Really, really good operator. And you guys know how much I like Legion if you guys have seen my previous videos. Leon. Leon. Is he just a C tier? This is actually a tough one. I mean, let's stack him up with the characters in here. He's probably better than Flores. Because, yeah, okay, Lion's fine in B. I think Lion is less situational. You can bring him on every point. His ability is very good. It makes people stop moving. That's, you know, if you're using it at the right times. So many times I see people just Lion scanning in spawn. That's the dumbest thing you could do. If you use a Lion scan before you push, Lion's actually like really good. I actually like Lion a lot. Yeah, Lion's definitely B tier. Also a really good gun, big mag in it. Yeah, Lion's good. Also, you could use his DMR. It's not bad at all. Maestro, niche, pretty bad. Same with Echo. He's just like, he's one of those guys, if he dies, like, he just turns into a glorified Valk, and his gun is pretty bad. The Alda LMG, not very good. Yeah, he has the A10 shotgun, but like, I think there are so many better operators to bring the Maestro, but there are certain situations where Maestro can be completely broken, so just depends. Maverick. Oh, I guess Mav was part of the hard breachers. I forgot to do him earlier, but Maverick also niche. Few Mav, like, you could bring Mav every attack round, but again, you're just not bringing much util to the team itself. Like, maybe you're a really good Maverick and you know where to Mav holes and stuff, but like, you're not really helping the team. So I'd put him in D. He's definitely not F, but he's definitely not C. So Maluzzi. I think Maluzzi in B, actually. I think she's similar to Goyo in the sense that she's a really good time waste operator, but also on top of that, her Maluzzis are like invincible until, you know, until they're kind of like Fenrir, like you can't shoot them until they get activated. So I think that's pretty good. I think her gun is decent. She has impact grenades, which is nice. Yeah, and I think she's actually a pretty good time wasting operator / entry, like certain, you can deny certain entry from certain areas, right? And her thing makes a really loud sound cue. So I'd put her in B. Yeah, that's pretty reasonable. Mira probably also in B. She's definitely better than the defenders down here because she brings more util, and everybody can use the Mira shields, right? That's the way I look at it with Mira versus, like, say a Frost or a Capcan or even a Jaeger. Everybody can use the Mira shield. So even if Mira dies, her util is still there, it's still active, it's still good. And in comparison to like a Frostmat or a Jaeger, like a Mira might win you the round. Like a Mira is really good if it's set up properly, and certain sites are really good for the Mira. She also has a good shotgun secondary to set up sites. She has the Vector, same as Goyo, very good gun. Yeah, I think Mira's a good B tier. Monty's C. Just because he's actually like really hard to play, but if you're good with Monty, you could probably, honestly, you might be able to put Monty in A. Like, Monty's a really good character. It's just the problem of actually having people to coordinate with and being able to play Monty really well. That impacts him a lot. So yeah, Monty's C. I don't think he's D. He's definitely not niche. You could genuinely, if you're an insanely good Monty, you could use him every single round and have great success. But yeah, a lot of people don't know how to use him. I have no idea how to use Monty. Like, I've used Monty once for a YouTube video like a month ago, and that's about it. So I'll put Monty in C. Skamao's Bows is probably B. He's again just better than all of these cam ops because he's gonna not only impact the drone economy in a positive favor for you guys, but he's actually gonna give you guys info that defenders usually don't have access to. So I think Mozzie's pretty good for that aspect. I also think Mozzie has a really good set of guns. The Roni's good and the Commando's pretty decent as well. Just one thing with Mozzie would be to definitely use Mozzie after the drone phase. Don't capture drones before that. It just doesn't you're gonna impact the drone economy better when you use it after the drone phase, because you could potentially get rid of 3 of the drones that they have left, right? So yeah, Mozzie's pretty good though. All right, next is Knock. I mean, honestly, ever since they I think Knock is probably C, but ever since they got rid of her silent step, like, she's kind of just one of the most lower. Yeah, she's niche, dude. There's just better options. She's not impact. She does nothing for the team anymore. Like, yeah, she's invisible to cams. Cool, bro. People are just gonna shoot the defaults anyways. Nobody uses cams like that. I mean, obviously people use cams like that, but I don't know. She's like, yeah, very niche, I would say. If you come up against a team that's using like 3 bulletproof cameras, then like, okay, maybe she'd be pretty good. But yeah, ever since Ubi got rid of her silent step, which I think was ridiculous, she's pretty bad. Yeah, she has frags. Yeah, she has the FMG9, which is like okay, but I'm not a big fan of Knock, honestly, and I don't think a lot of people are. Nomad's probably B tier, easy. She's definitely better than these operators, and she's definitely better than Gridlock for flank watch / things of that nature. Yeah, Nomad's pretty good gun. Yeah, and her ability is actually really good if you use it correctly. The thing about Nomad is you can't die before you're able to get your air jabs off. Otherwise, I mean, it's pointless, right? So I'd say Nomad B. Oryx might be dog water. Actually, I'm just gonna put Oryx in niche just because he has the T5, and I guess his ability can be useful to make rotates or things of that nature. But you lose health when you Oryx dash through walls, so it's pretty bad. But he's definitely not an F, honestly, just because of his gun. His T5 saves him. If he had like some random gun, he could easily be an F. And I guess jumping up hatches is 1% of the time useful. So yeah. Osa, C. Is Osa a C? She has impact EMPs. She has a really good ability. Oh, not really good, but pretty useful ability. She has decent set of guns. I'll put Osa in B. I think Osa could be good in B, but she is also kind of situational. Like, yeah, you could bring Osa every time, but there's certain times where Osa is just not useful. Yeah, no, Osa and C is probably better. Okay, before we move on to the next operator, let me just see here. Is there anyone in C that needs to go up? I don't think so, honestly. I think the majority of you guys would agree with me that everybody here is probably C. I guess maybe you could put, but here's the thing. If I put Bandit here, then I put Cade here. I think that's a lot better. Yeah. I think that's a lot better. Cade is the best wall denier in the game, I would say. And then Bandit is worse, but usable. And then Mew is kind of a flex hybrid, but he's also good for a lot of other things. So yeah, that looks better. Anybody that needs to be moved down? No, that's it. That's good. Pulse might be D. Pulse is probably a D, honestly. Like, okay, congrats. You can see people through walls and stuff, but like, that ability is pretty useless, in my opinion. But you're telling me Amaru and Flores and Ella are better than Pulse? Pulse is definitely better than Ella. Okay, this is probably reasonable, because he does have a shotgun. No, yeah, Pulse is C. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, Pulse is definitely a C. Shotgun, UMP is really good, and he has a C4, which you can make plays on, or plays off using his tablet, because you can go under, look up, find somebody, yeah, blow them up from below. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think Pulse is a C. I think that's pretty reasonable. Demos. Dude, Demos is honestly niche. Believe it or not, I don't think Demos is very good. I think he's good for one thing, and that thing is to find roamers and kill them. If you're playing against a really annoying cav, Demos is your guy. But you're locked into using his pistol. Sometimes that can be problematic. On top of that, the gun he has, the AK is like whatever. I guess you could go Demos shotgun, but like, dude, come on. And he's also revealed to the person he's tracking. On top of that, it also requires that you actually scan the people with a drone in order to track them. They can stand next to mutes, and then you can't track them. There's just a lot of like things that have to go right to be able to use Demos, and I just don't think he's that good actually. When he first came out, I thought Demos was crazy, but yeah, no, too many counters, and he's too situational. Ram. Ram, probably like B tier, yo. Is that crazy? I don't think that's crazy, honestly. I think Ram is really good. She's definitely the best vert character in the game now. She's better than Buck in terms of vert. What are her downsides? Her downsides are that, I mean, there's not that many downsides. Her downsides is you can't play upwards, right? You can only send a boogie and then shoot down. But like, again, pretty much the best vert player in the game, makes the best vert. Yeah, I would say Ram B. I think she's still a pretty new character, so it's kind of hard to make a decision on her. But yeah, I think B is fine. I think she's better than the majority of the operators here and brings a lot of util to the team because she can also destroy stuff, castle barricades. She can also go above and play vert and destroy bandit batteries or cades. So yeah, I think she brings a lot of value actually. Yeah, B is fine for her. Obviously skipping the recruits. Rook. Ooh. Dude, Rook. Yeah, Rook, honestly, D tier, guys. It's not that he's niche, it's that he's not impactful enough. This is a one-shot headshot game. It doesn't matter if you have 500 health. If you get hit in the head, you die, right? So in higher skill lobbies, like you'll never see Rook being played because a lot of the people just hit headshots. I just really don't like Rook for a lot of reasons too, because after he puts his armor down, he is just a body. He has nothing else going for him. He does nothing else, right? So yeah, personally, I'm not a big fan of Rook. I just don't think that the extra health makes a big difference a lot of the time because you're just gonna get headshot and then congrats, right? So yeah, I'd put Rook in D. I think that's fair. Maybe C, but he's not any better than any of these operators here, right? So Sen's is D. I'm not gonna put her in F because she's definitely better than these characters, but like extremely niche. There's maybe like 2 sites where you can make Sen's work. She does get a bonus now though, because now you can actually see, because of the trajectory thing that they added into Siege, you can actually see exactly how her thing is gonna bounce. So that definitely helps her a little bit. Or sorry, I don't know. I called her, but I don't want to misgender. I actually don't know what Sen's is. Anyways. Yeah, so I think Sen's definitely could use a sort of rework or something, and I think she's extremely situational. I just said she again. Okay, we're moving on. Sledge. Definitely better than C. Sledge is probably B. Sledge is just like, he's just the guy you pick when you're just kind of like, I don't know what to do, man. I'm just going to go with old reliable. Sledge does a lot for you. He's got frags. He's got one of the best guns in the game. One of the most easy to use guns in the game, the L8. You can use his ability to put pressure on people in sight. You can go above and play vert. Yeah, I think Sledge is just a classic B tier. Not too hard. Not too bad. I guess he may be C tier, but I'm a big fan of Sledge, low-key. Smoke. Dude, Smoke might be A tier, honestly. Is that wild? Smoke's definitely better than Aruni. He's better than Fuse. He's better than Goyo and Malusi at denying time. He's probably better than Lion. He's probably better than Mira. Yeah. Smoke A tier. Honestly, pretty easy to determine that. Smoke is probably the best time waster on defense that there is, right? If people are pushing through a certain area, lob a smoke, baby. Just lob one of them smokes. And this thing does a stupid amount of damage, by the way. Like, you do not want to be in smoke when he throws them at you. Like, he will cook you if you don't run out of there quick. So, yeah, I think Smoke's actually really good. He has a really, really good kit. FMG or FMJ is pretty nice. And he also has a shotgun. C4, I believe. Yeah, Smoke's pretty fire, I'm not going to lie. Solus, yeah. Solus is like the easiest S tier I've ever seen in my life. Solus is completely broken. I don't understand how there's a character that can see where all the drones are, destroy all the drones, right? Pre-round. And then if you're using any kind of electronic or any kind of drone, she's gonna know, right? Yes, her range is not unlimited, thank God, because that would have been really ridiculous. But she's just way too broken. She can see where the diffuser is. If you're going to plant, she's going to go under you. She's going to impact under you and kill you. That's crazy to me. And again, I just don't get how her ability can destroy one of the most fundamental things in Siege, which is the drone phase. If there's a Solus, the drone phase is over. You know how there's a countdown? Like, it might as well just end. There's no point of droning, and by the time you learn that there's a Solus, it's probably too late. She's going to smoke all the drones, and then you guys are 50% of the info has gone out the window. The 50% of the info that you could get is completely gone, and you're going into the building blind. I think that's way, way too broken, right? And I know the rework is coming where she can't use it during the prep phase. That's huge. That definitely makes it a lot more balanced. Yeah, and she's good. She's got the P90, the SMG11, really good gun. Yeah, Soul is completely busted. Chungus is just F. I mean, Chungus is just really bad. They need to figure out something better for his ability because it's just too dangerous to hold. It's like he's like Grim on D is literally what Chungus is. Yeah, I guess since he's Grim on D, I'll put him in D because he's still better than these freaking trash ops. Yeah, Grim, and he's just a defensive Grim. Really bad. Maybe usable on like one site if you're like kind of memeing around, but I think his primary is also complete trash. The freaking dinner plate LMG, that thing is terrible. So yeah, D tier for me. Thatch, I mean, easy S tier. The best electrify destroyer in the game. Crucial for every single wall breach that there is in the game if they have electricity. I think, yeah, easy S tier. Good guns. Not much to talk about. Very basic ability, but one of the most important in the game. So yeah, S tier for him. Thorn, Trap Op, probably just C. Probably just pretty bog standard C. She's nothing special. Her gun's okay. Her ability's okay. She has barbed wire. Nah, I mean, not much to say about her, honestly. Thunderbird. Probably C as well. She's definitely better than a lot of these operators and brings utility. Actually, the only thing that's really bad about Thunderbird is that the enemy team can get the Kona stations, which is like super dangerous. But I still think she's better. I don't think she's niche. You could bring her on every map. It's just like her kit isn't very good. Her ability is good, but again, it's similar to Rook in the sense that it's a one-shot headshot meta. But the difference is if you're alive and you're at low health, you can run and get some health. Whereas Rook, he just gives you that health in the beginning, and then if you lose it, right? Or if you get headshot, it doesn't even matter. So at least this gives you more flexibility. So yeah, I think she's definitely better than Rook, but she's no better than Doc. They're pretty much the same thing. So C tier for me. Tubarao, ooh, I think Tubarao A. Tubarao A. He's not S because there's not, you can't use him on every map, but the maps that you can use Tubarao on, he is absolutely incredible. His guns are good. He's got the MPX and he's got the AR-15, AR something, I don't know, the DMR. He also has a C4 or beepers and whatever, some pistol. I think Tubarao is really good on any map that you are trying to keep people out from breaching a certain wall. So think chalet, basement, consulate, garage, even like a bank, 2F. He's really good to just stop them from breaching those two back walls in the table room, whatever it's called. I'm not sure the name. So I think Tubarao is actually really good. But you need to stay alive, obviously, and you need to be near the walls, so that can kind of hinder you a little bit, right? So yeah, A tier though. Twitch, oops. Twitch, probably C tier, yeah. Situational, better options. Certainly can be very good in certain situations. Definitely better than a lot of these operators, I would say, because she brings actual utility. She brings drones, and she brings the ability to destroy pieces of util. So yeah, C tier for me. You know, if they ban Thatcher, or if your Thatcher dies, or if you guys want to hit two walls at once kind of thing, like, Twitch brings some pretty good value. Her guns aren't great. The F2 is an insanely recoil nerfed out of this world gun, but she also has the 417, which is pretty reasonable, honestly. So yeah, I think C is pretty good for her. Valk is pretty easily A tier for me. unbridled info, best info op on defense for sure. Better than Maestro, better than Echo, better than everybody. Very good kit, very good gun. Yeah, I think Valk is a pretty easy A tier, and especially if you really learn where to put those cams, they will never find them, right? Like you will just be able to use these exact same spots, map after map, round after round, game after game, and give so much info to the team. I don't know how many rounds I've won just because we had a Valk cam and I was able to ping for my teammates and tell them like, yo, he's pushing here, he's pushing here. So I think Valk really, really could. Definitely A tier. I wouldn't say S tier, but yeah, A tier. Vigil, D. I think Vigil is just like, he's pretty much Cav. He's pretty much Cav, but he has the bonus effect of not being able to be droned, so I'll give him that. That's why he'll make D. I think Vigil is just another one of those characters, doesn't help the team whatsoever. Goes off 50 meters off point and just usually dies. So yeah, D tier, not much to say about him. It is what it is. Warden, every copper's favorite player. Yeah, I think Warden is a D tier. Believe it or not. His ability is niche because they need to be using stun grenades or smokes, which I would say like more than 50% of the time isn't happening. On top of that, his ability isn't impactful enough. It doesn't help the team in any way, shape, or form. And I mean, the one saving grace about him that he had was the fact that he had the 1.5, and that's gone now. So like, what does Warden actually do for you other than being a guy in a suit? Yeah. D tier. Ying. Ying can probably go B. Ying is pretty good if you use her correctly. If you use her wrong, she's honestly D tier because you're just going to flash all your teammates, right? How many times I've been flashed by Ying, I can't even count. That's how many times it's happened. But yeah, Ying's pretty good. Her LMG is nice. You probably don't have to reload the entire round. Definitely better than a lot of the operators down here. Yeah, Ying B, pretty good. Hard breach charges. Yeah, decent. Pretty decent. Zero. Oof. Does Zero go C or B, man? I'm a huge... No, Zero goes... Well, if Zero goes B, then low-key Twitch goes B too. No, Zero's better than Twitch. Zero's better than Twitch. I'll explain why. First of all, Zero has more cams. I think he has 4 cams, which is pretty incredible. He has a good gun, and his util not only gives info, right? But it can also destroy util. I mean, I think Zero is genuinely an incredibly good character. He can be situational, but like, what situation are you not looking to shoot a cam and give your team info, right? The only time that he's a slight drawback is when you're playing solo queue, right? Because the point of Zero, the time that he's the best is when you can set up flank watches, or after you've cleared an area, set up a drone and then set up a whatever, one of his Argus cams, and have one of your teammates watch it so that nobody flanks you, right? That's when he's at his best. But if you're solo queuing, it's a little bit worse, right? You're just going to shoot your Argus cam, you're going to get some info on the people in the room. Either they're just going to shoot it and destroy it, or you're going to look at it once and then you're not going to have time to get back on it because, you know, you're in the site essentially. So yeah, I think he's B though. He's better than Twitch because there's more of them, like I said, and they're harder to spot. Like Twitch is a drone driving around with a big red light on it. Like people can see that a lot easier than they can see Argus's cams. So yeah, I think B is pretty good for him. And then finally, Zofia, probably D. Zofia is just like kind of she's an operator that really needs a rework, from everything from her icon to her kit to everything. I just think she's kind of like whatever. I rarely see her get used because, I mean, there's just way better options. And yeah, I don't know, not much to say. Her guns are pretty bad and like she's just whatever. So yeah, that's the tier list, boys. Let's quickly have a look over it, make sure everything's in the right place. I feel like this is actually a pretty reasonable tier list, but I probably messed up somewhere here and there. But no, I think this is actually genuinely like a solid tier list though. But yeah, like I said in the beginning of the video, comment down below if you guys have any disagreements or if I missed something or whatever it may be, right? And with that being said, boys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.